Satang Prasanga.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and welcome to today's session. How are you doing? I pray that all is well with you and your families at this time. So today we're moving on to the next letter, and it is a letter from Tusta Krsna Prabhu. It's a very intense letter. I was hesitant to choose it, but the instructions and the details were so powerful that I thought we could definitely benefit from a letter like this. Although I have sifted it a lot and I've just taken the relevant part of the letter for our educational purposes. So the letter starts, Letter to Tusta Krsna, Ahmedabad, 14th December 1972. And then Prabhupada writes that in numerically reverse. Byron's Bay, Australia. My dear Tusta Krsna, please accept my blessings. I am in due receipt of your letters. So he has written 3 letters to Prabhupada. All of them, he's a manager and he had some trouble with cooperating with some devotees, and he's had left the place that he was serving at and went to a farm in Australia. And Prabhupada is very concerned, and he's not in the association of devotees and things like that. So Prabhupada goes on with the questions. He says, your next question: after leaving this material realm, does the devotee remain forever with his spiritual master? I thought that was a very relevant question, especially with us losing our beloved His Holiness Bhakti Charuswami recently. So what does happen now? Does the devotee meet his spiritual master again? The answer is yes. Wow. So at least we know from Prabhupada's mouth, we've heard that the devotee meets his spiritual master again. However, Prabhupada continues to elaborate on this. But I think you have got the mistaken idea in this connection. So Prabhupada clarifies this siddhanta on this. You speak of pure devotee that he is Shakti Avesh Avatar, that we should obey him only. These things are the wrong idea. So Prabhupada is clarifying the meaning of pure devotee. I think he's taking time to explain this point very clearly. Who is a pure devotee and what is a pure devotee? So Prabhupada says here, if anyone thinks like that a pure devotee should be obeyed and no one else, that means he is a nonsense. Wow, Prabhupada is strong there. So it's not that we should only listen to our spiritual masters and Srila Prabhupada and neglect everybody else. Prabhupada explains further. We advise everyone to address one another as Prabhu. Prabhu means master. So how the master should be disobeyed? So Prabhupada is saying here, if you're regarding everybody as Prabhu, we call each other as Prabhu. This word Prabhu is for the men, and for the ladies it's Prabhi. That's the technical Sanskrit. Although we say Mataji, but the technical Sanskrit is Prabhi. So Prabhupada is saying here, how then, if you're calling everybody Prabhu, you'll disobey them? So you're speaking one thing and you're behaving in another way? So Prabhupada is really clarifying that. Others, they are also pure devotees. All of my disciples are pure devotees. Oh wow. I think we need a moment to reflect on that one. Prabhupada is saying all of my disciples are pure devotees. Yes. And then he goes on to clarify that statement. Anyone sincerely serving the spiritual master is a pure devotee. So he defined it even further. If you are serving your spiritual master sincerely, then according to Prabhupada's definition, you are also a pure devotee. Wow. It may be Siddha Swarup or others are Siddha Swarup. So this devotee's friend or the person that he wants to work with is a devotee named Siddha Swarup. And Prabhupada is so brilliantly, he's using the name because Siddha Swarup means a perfected form, perfected person. So Prabhupada is running on that definition and saying whether it's Siddha Swarup or not Siddha Swarup, a perfected being or not a perfected being, you should still. So Prabhupada, very subtle humor, but not humor that is hilarious laughter, but it softens the content of what is being discussed, and it definitely makes the point. So Prabhupada is so expert to use the current situation perfectly. Prabhupada goes on to say, this must be very clearly stated. It is not only that your Siddha Swarup is a pure devotee and not others. Do not try to make a faction. So Prabhupada is saying, you don't only think that this person is, because he's a leader, he's a pure devotee and nobody else there in the community is. The definition Prabhupada gave, if you're serving your spiritual master sincerely, that is a very deep point. And then Prabhupada says, don't create any factions. Don't unnecessarily split up the movement, creating groups and creating ideas. We've seen it over the years, with different devotees, sincere devotees, but they've created factions, they've created groups, splinter groups from ISKCON. So Prabhupada said, please don't do that. Please don't do that. If you have a discrepancy, work within the society, whatever it may be. But don't go and create a splinter group and create factions, because by doing that, we're taking the position that we have an absolute answer, we have an absolute understanding of what's the situation. Nobody has an absolute understanding. And the best understanding would be what Prabhupada is saying. So let's just follow that, because that is sincerity. According to the definition is given, that is a pure devotee, one who is following the spiritual master sincerely. He goes on to say, Siddha Swarup is a good soul, but others should not be misled. Anyone who is surrendered to the spiritual master is a pure devotee. Again now, before he said sincerity, now he's saying surrendered. So that is his definition of a pure devotee, if you surrender to the spiritual master. He goes on to say, it doesn't matter if Siddha Swarup or non-Siddha Swarup. Again he clarified that pun. Amongst ourselves, one should respect others as Prabhu, Master, one another. As soon as we distinguish that here is a pure devotee, here is a non-pure devotee, that means I am a nonsense. So Prabhupada said we should learn to this amanina manadena, kirtanya sadahari, trinarapi verse, trinarapi sunichena, taro eva suhisnina, amanina manadena, kirtanya sada. We should give respect to all. That's the only way we'll be able to chant properly. So he's saying if you're not doing that, then that is a nonsense. He is reprimanding. Prabhupada goes on to say, why you only want to be in the spiritual sky with Siddha Swarup? Why not all? So Prabhupada is clarifying, because he is probably saying, I just want to be, because Siddha Swarup is a great devotee, is a devotee of Krishna, so he wants to follow him, and he says, I want to be in the place where he goes. And then Prabhupada is saying, no, we want family. We want family. You should think inclusively, not just exclusive. Inclusively means we are one family. We all take care and help each other go back to the spiritual world. So Prabhupada goes on to say, if Siddha Swarup can go, why not everyone? Siddha Swarup will go, you will go, Shyamasundar will go, all others will go. we will have another ISKCON day. Wow. So Prabhupada is saying in the spiritual world there's another ISKCON day. And everybody will go. Whoever connected to ISKCON and served the mission, they will all go. Beautiful, huh? Prabhupada goes on to say, of course, Mr. Naya must stay. Oh, Mr. Naya. This Mr. Naya is the person who gave us the most trouble, gave us the trouble in Juhu. The Juhu. I know His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj has just finished his book on the whole Juhu project, and Prabhupada asked him to write that book. And he's just completed it, it's being edited, it will probably be released very soon. So there in detail you'll be able to read about Mr. Naya. And so Prabhupada says everybody will go but Mr. Naya will stay. So let's read on. Prabhupada says here, and if somebody does not go, so what happens if a soul does not make it back to the spiritual world? Listen to this part, this is so heart-touching. Prabhupada says here, then I shall have to come back to take him there. One should remember this, and every one of my disciples should act in such a way that they go with me, that they may not have to come back to take another birth. So how sweet is that? Prabhupada is here, is such a beautiful, I've heard it many times, but I didn't know where it was quoted from. And here we found the letter where Prabhupada is saying, I will have to come back for my disciples, for those who didn't make it. Now how does he come back? Means he has to take another birth, and he has to go through all the parts of life, and then become a guru, and then look for you. How do we know he's not already doing that in this lifetime? That's why he had to go to America and all of that. So let's not, we are also grand disciples of Prabhupada, so let's not make that happen. Let's all go back to Godhead under his direction and shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let's read on. As for your next question, can only a pure devotee deliver others? Prabhupada's answer, anyone, if he is a pure devotee, he can deliver others. He can become spiritual master, but unless he is on that platform, he should not attempt it. So we say Shiksha Guru, everybody is our Shiksha Guru, and we have many Shiksha Gurus. So we should not attempt this service of being a spiritual master if we're not on that platform. And let's see what Prabhupada says further here. Then both of them will go to hell. That means the disciple and that false guru, Putana guru we spoke about the other day, the false guru, he will also be in a very difficult situation. So Prabhupada is warning against this. And then he goes on to say, like blind men leading the blind. So he gives the example that if you can't see the way, then don't try to guide others, because you will also take them into the ditch with you. So this is a very great service to be the spiritual master. So we should be very careful of this. Especially as disciples, we should be very careful of how we choose a guru. Next question, Prabhupada says here. Next, you ask if I am present in my picture. How many times you ask yourself that question? Is Prabhupada really present in his murti, in his deity form, or in his picture that you have at home? So Prabhupada clarifies here. Yes, in form as well as in teachings. Prabhupada says, yes, I am present there in that picture or in that deity, and as well as in my teachings. And then he goes on to say, to carry out the teachings of the Guru is more important than to worship the form. So more important than just doing Guru Puja, worship, is to follow what he's saying for us to do. That will please him more and that will glorify him more. Because then you're becoming an example of what he is teaching, the philosophy. He goes on to say, but none of them should be neglected. So although I'm saying teachings, both should not be neglected. Make sure you understand what is the deity form, and make sure you understand that this Guru is in the picture. He is the picture, and he's watching, he's relating with you. Prabhupada then goes on to say, form is called Vapu and teachings is called Vani. Both should be worshipped. You should also worship the teachings, he's saying here. Wow, that's a very deep point. Prabhupada goes on to say, Vani is more important than Vapu. Then he says, the next question is, should we love Krishna or love the spiritual master? So he's separating the both and saying, should we love Krishna or love the Guru? And that's a very important point, because we don't want to become a fan of the Guru, where you only worship the Guru and idolize the Guru, and but at the end of the day, whatever he's saying, you're not following. So should we love Krishna or just love the Guru? Because some devotees, they do have that relationship. It's only their Guru and nobody else. And Prabhupada, let's see his answer. You cannot go to Krishna directly. Loving him, it is common sense that if Krishna is the object of your love, his pet dog is also the object of your love. Friends meet friends, and if the friend is with his dog, the gentleman pets his dog first. Is it not? So the man becomes automatically pleased, his dog is being petted. I have seen it in your country. The conclusion is this: without pleasing the spiritual master, one cannot please Krishna. So both are interrelated. So don't become just exclusive on spiritual master or just exclusive on Krishna and without the spiritual master. Both is dangerous. Prabhupada goes on to say, if anyone tries to please Krishna directly, he is fool number one. And then he ends, hoping this meets you and your good wife, Krishna Tulsi Dasi, in good health and devotional mood. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So I hope we got a lot of powerful instruction here today. Please join us again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.